If you're a big swim team and you like to order a lot of gear, maybe you ought to check out Swim Outlet Team Division for these reasons. Swim teams receive a 10% discount on bulk orders. Swim teams or organizations get an 8% commission on referred sales. You'll also like their customization services, which is affordable and available at all times during the year for all team gear. With over 50,000 items in stock, you can get most anything you want. Swim Outlet Team Division. You need to try it out. You'll be glad you did.
This is the Morning Swim Show for Thursday, March 7th, 2013. I'm your host, Jeff Cummings. Joining me today in the Finis Monitor will be Jeff Cooper. He's the head coach for the Oakland Livewires in Michigan and serves as treasurer and is on the board of directors for the National Club Swimming Association, the organization which is hosting next week's Junior National Championships in Orlando, Florida. The meet is big in numbers and in star power as Olympic champion Katie Ledecky and national high school record holder Jack Conger are just a couple of the names that have graced the deck so far in this meet. And to talk more about the Junior Nationals, Jeff Cooper joins us now from Michigan. Coach, good to see you. How are you today?
Good, Jeff. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's probably a little bit stressful for you getting this meet all set up. It's, like I said, it's one of the biggest meets in the country, but I'm sure it's still exciting to know that it's right around the corner.
Yeah, it is. It is a lot of fun to put it on, and you're right about it being a big meet. We just downloaded all the entries yesterday, and we have 1,792 athletes, 250 teams. So it's going to be a big meet. Fortunately, it's yards, so we can run it in two pools, and timelines don't get too crazy on us. So.
Yeah, I know last year a lot of people were having a little bit of issue with it because it was short course in the morning and long course at night, but it's always been great to see in short course. You just see some of the best high school kids racing and getting in that last short course yards meet before the long course season. It must be great for your team as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We're excited. We have 10 kids of our own from the Livewires going, so we're pretty excited about that as well.
And it's got to be exciting for the NCSA when you think about the fact that so many swimmers have had their breakout competition at juniors. I mean, we talked about Katie Ledecky, Jack Conger, a couple other swimmers who are doing well in college right now. Rachel Norath comes to mind. What do you guys think about how far this meet has come in the past, I guess, almost 10 years?
Well, I think it's pretty amazing when you think about it. When Bob Gillett came up with the idea 10 years ago and started to implement it and what it's grown to now with as many teams as we have participating. I mean, the goal of the meet is exactly what we get. It's to create that team atmosphere, that exciting atmosphere, with all the conference meets in college going on right now. You see how fast people swim when they get in that team environment and that, just that amazing, exciting environment of a Big Ten championships or a Pac-10 championships. And we've tried to create that now at a club level. And I think that's the unique thing about the meet is that everybody's there with a team. It's the super elite athletes like Ledecky and Conger are there, but they're there with 20 or 30 of their teammates, and they're on relays with them, and they're getting up on the blocks with their teammates at the end of their lane. And I think for the elite swimmer, that doesn't happen a lot in 18 and under swimming, and I think that's what's unique about this meet.
And it's at the International Aquatic Center there in Orlando, Florida, which is definitely a great facility to have all these teams, because they get loud in there when all these kids start screaming for their teammates. Now, why do you guys keep coming back to Orlando instead of, say, shifting it to other pools around the country?
Well, I think Orlando's just the perfect destination. When you're running a meet this size and you need the hotels in close proximity to the venue like it is in Orlando, it does make it easier to run a meet like this because the kids don't really have to be at the pool the entire time for prelims. So even though prelims may run from 9 till 12:30 or 1 o'clock, everyone, for the most part, over 90% of the meet is within walking distance. So what you get is you get a lot of kids that come over. I know with my own team I do this. My kids come over 40 minutes, 45 minutes before they're going to swim their prelim race. They warm up, they swim it, they leave. So for that purpose, Orlando is really pretty much impossible to beat anywhere else around the country because you have to drive to the venue, or you have to be there all day to swim the one event. And that's what makes Orlando unique for us to be able to do this.
And you can't beat Central Florida in mid-March.
No, it's pretty nice for us coming from the Northeast and the Midwest when we get to go to 75, 80-degree weather, and it's 18 here in Michigan today.
Oh,
So
goodness. Yeah, you're definitely here. You can bring your shorts out for once.
exactly.
Well, the Spring Juniors has typically been the big meet for the NCSA every year, but I understand you guys are kind of in the process of getting a second meet running this summer. Tell us more about that.
We are. We've been in negotiations with IUP Natatorium, and we finalized that, and we're going to be doing what we're going to call our NCSA Summer Championships, July 30th till August 3rd. And basically what this meet will be, Jeff, in its first year, it's probably going to be more like an invite than anything else. We're going to have a tiered entry system like they do for the Grand Prix meets, where teams that have been involved in our spring meet for a certain number of years will have first option to enter, then the next tier down, then the next tier down. And we're going to cap the meet at 850 to 900 swimmers, because we're just afraid if we try and bring everybody that we bring in the wintertime, we can't do that with a long course meet, obviously, or we'd be there till 4 o'clock in the afternoon for prelims. So that's going to be the first one this summer. We'll see how that goes, see what the response is, see what our member clubs, want, and if they want us to do more than that, then hopefully, we'll be able to do that as well.
And your spring meet never really has any kind of major competition with any other meets going on around the country, but obviously if you're having a juniors in the summer in late July, you're going to run up against some teams who probably have said, well, we want to go to the USA Swimming Junior National. So what's the thinking behind having this summer meet with USA Swimming's Junior National still going on?
Well, we wanted to make sure we weren't in conflict with USA, and we don't ever want to be. I mean, we look at ourselves as a complement to what United States Swimming is doing. We're all USA Swimming member clubs, member coaches, member athletes. So we really, we never want to be in a situation where anybody feels like we're in competition with them. We want to complement it. I mean, but we still felt, if you look at that summer junior meet that USA runs, it's for the super elite athlete. I mean, it's for the top 1% of the 18 and unders. And really there seems to be that void for the team atmosphere below that. So that was really, it's what we founded the organization on. And we had a lot of teams that have been going to Orlando come to us and ask us about a summer meet. So we went ahead and did that, and put it on this first summer. But we'll make sure that it's never in competition with anything that USA Swimming's doing. That's the furthest thing that we want to do.
And you definitely can't beat a venue like Indy. I mean, these kids will probably really relish the fact that they get to have a big championship meet in one of the fastest pools in the country.
Yeah, I think they'll be excited about it, especially after they see the Division I men's championships, on TV there, and then they get to be there this summer. And the Nat's always a great place to have a meet. I've been working with Ed Merkling already, their director, and getting everything set up and taken care of. So they'll be great, and they've run a lot of big meets, and world trials are going to be there and stuff. So we're excited to take our meet there.
So let's get back to this spring meet. And you said you have 10 swimmers going from the Oakland Livewires. Any swimmers in particular we should be looking out for?
I've got a couple kids that are pretty good. Kyle Lichtenberg's one of the better distance swimmers in the country. He's going to be attending Eastern Michigan University next year as a freshman. He's a senior this year in high school. And he'll be in the hunt there in the distance events in the 1,000 and the mile. And 500 is pretty much a sprint for him. He's definitely a miler. And then I have a young lady on the female side, Madeline Tyner. She's another real good distance swimmer, 200 butterflyer. She was a trials swimmer at trials last summer in the 200 butterfly. So those are our two top swimmers. Some rookies that are going to get their feet wet, so to speak, at this meet and learn what it's about to get on the blocks against the best.
Well, that sure will be a lot of fun. The Livewires has had a great history in this sport. Obviously, the biggest names are probably the Vanderkaay brothers, who came up through the Livewires and did very well, obviously Peter being probably the most successful. What has it been like to have that history of the Livewires and seeing them progress through the sport?
Well, I think that's what makes our program so special. And that's what I really push with our kids a lot is, when they put that cap on, it's what are they going to do to enhance and make the three letters on that cap, OLY, better. and it's been great. Having Peter win Olympic medals and be part of the program, and he comes back and talks to the kids a lot, and is in the area a lot now that he's retired and stuff, and so that's great. And as Peter would tell you, we had a lot of great swimmers before him as well that paved the way for him, and we're NC2A All-Americans and on national teams and things of that nature as well. So that's something we definitely talk about. It's something we're really proud of in our program, and it's something that we strive for, excellence.
And it's probably a little bit of motivation to see the OLY on the cap. I mean, it's partly Olympic, so these kids are probably looking at their caps every day and is like, well, we got to complete that word there.
We definitely play on that a little bit when we see times, and when you go to a meet and they put the cut times up and it says the Oli cut, we kind of hold ourselves to that standard and say, well, that's our team, so that's what we expect.
Yep, definitely should be. So besides seeing Peter win medals at the Olympics, what's been the highlight for you as head coach at the Livewires for these past 18 years?
I mean, obviously, seeing Peter win medals, but I think the biggest thing that I'm proud of that we do is we have a process and a program and a plan for kids to take swimming to the next level in college. And the biggest thing that I'm proud of is when I see how well our kids do wherever they go, whatever division they swim at, whatever level they swim at in college, they all go on and swim faster. They all go on and continue to develop. And I think, my personal opinion is that's something we're missing right now in club swimming in this country. We got a lot of people coaching to times, not coaching to development, not coaching to long-term processes. And that's the biggest thing I'm proud of. Is what we've done for 18 years, the number of kids that we've sent on college scholarships and how well they've done in college and how many All-Americans we've had and all of the big conferences and everything else. So that's definitely it.
That's definitely a very good philosophy, Coach. Before we go, any advice you could give to a coach who's going to be going to juniors next week, who's probably going there for the first time and may just not really be prepared for the magnitude of this meet?
That's a really good way to put it, Jeff. I mean, I remember the first time I went, and you've gone to a lot of meets. You obviously have good swimmers or you wouldn't be going to this meet. But I think the biggest thing that is a shock to the kids for the first time there, or to a coach for the first time there, is just the amount of fast swimming. When you watch 10 or 12 heats of girls go 150 point, 151 in the 200 free, when you watch 4 or 5 heats of guys go better than 140.5 or so, faster than that. And I think you get swallowed up by that sometimes, and the rookies are looking at the scoreboard and they can't believe what they're seeing, and they forget they're there to swim fast. And so I always tell my kids and my rookies, control what you can control, take care of what you can take care of, have a plan and execute that plan, and then everything else takes care of itself.
Yeah, sometimes putting the blinders on works best for a lot of swimmers.
Absolutely.
Well, Coach, thanks so much for joining us. Congratulations on getting this summer meet. We're really looking forward to seeing how that turns out this summer, and have fun down there in Orlando.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Appreciate it.
All right, so that was Oakland Livewires head coach Jeff Cooper joining us for today's edition of the Morning Swim Show. Swimming World will be on the deck at the Junior National Championships in Orlando, bringing you live stream of prelims and finals Wednesday through Saturday, as well as on demand of Tuesday's events. So be sure to tune in to swimmingworld.tv next week. And that's going to do it for today's Morning Swim Show. I'm Jeff Cummings. Thanks for watching.